As a patient, what is the dumbest thing a doctor has ever recommended that you do? 1. I was 22 and had sudden, sharp pain low in my groin. It was so bad I couldn't stand up straight and could barely walk. I made an emergency appointment with my OB/GYN. After a very brief and cursory exam he told me it was a swollen ovary and it would go away in 2 or 3 months. I went home and told my then husband what the doctor said. He insisted I get a second opinion. I made many calls. Most doctors didn't do second opinions. I finally got one nurse who, in a bored voice, asked, "What are your symptoms?" I explained and she said she'd talk to the doctor and call me back. This was at 11 a.m. one workday. She called back and said he'd see me at 1. I went to his office straight from lunch. That doctor did an exam, then turned to the nurse and said, "She's the one." I asked what he meant. He said that 1 in 1,000 women claiming they had an emergency actually did, and I was that one. Then he asked, "What did you have for lunch?" I responded, "A burger," and he frowned, then said, "You need surgery." I tried to tell him I needed to go back to the office and close out some projects first. He said, "Oh, you're not leaving here." They put me in a wheelchair and rolled me 200 feet across the parking lot to the hospital. I was given time to make 2 phone calls, one to my husband. I had to leave a message with the office admin. This is long before the days of cell phones, and one to my parents, since I couldn't reach my husband. Later, in the recovery room drive, Horowitz explained, I had an ovarian torsion on my right side. That happens when an ovaries, and in my case also the fallopian tube, bent and twisted around the tissue they're connected to. The torsion happened because there was a grapefruit-sized tumor on that ovary. It was benign, thankfully, but he said it was so close to bursting, and probably killing me, that he didn't dare let me go home. My husband returned to the first doctor's office and read him the riot act for almost killing my wife. 2. My daughter spilled a hot bowl of soup onto her legs on a Friday. She was in pain. Looked bad. I took her immediately to the ER. ER doc said it's like a mild sunburn, prescribed some Silvadine cream and Tylenol. Scolded me for suggesting it's serious. Tell her to stop crying, it can't hurt that bad. You sure, doc? She's overreacting. Later that night I call the ER again. Something's not right. Looks bad. It's as mild as it gets, they said. Let the Silvadine work. Don't worry. Monday morning I take her to her regular doc first thing because she's in pain. He flips out. Can't believe I did nothing. Wants to arrange an ambulance to the burn unit in the city 2.5 hours away. They flipped out when she got there. Over 2 weeks in the burn unit until they let her go home. If I didn't have the paper from the ER to prove our story, they would have put me in jail for child abuse. She turned out good in the end. We don't go to that local hospital anymore. 3. When I was 14 I had to leave school because my stomach was hurting really bad. Both my parents were working but I called my mom. She told me to go to the doctor's office. When the old guy who was our family doctor saw me and heard my complaint about the pain in my stomach, without even touching me or taking my temperature, he told me I was having my period and that is the cause of the pain. I was not having a period and I really did not know what to do, but I went home and lay down on the couch. My grandma came home from the store and took one look at me and took my temperature. It was really high. She heard the story of my trip to the doctor. Without further ado she put me in the car and drove me to the emergency ward at the local hospital. She went in with me and quite loudly demanded I be seen at once. From there it was emergency surgery to remove my appendix. The surgeon told my grandma that another hour or so my appendix would have burst.